Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Universe, and this is Arpan. Right, so I thought since we are reaching the 1,000 subscribers, let's make a special video which will be straight from the heart, without much, kind of rehearsing. And maybe we are still in process of setting up the corporate structure. So for the last couple of months, we have not produced any course because we have received some feedback that people are having difficulty in payments and UPI link that is kind of given there. Sometimes it's not working. Sometimes a message is coming like UPI exceeded, right? UPI limit exceeded. So that's why we thought that let us go ahead with the proper process. And in any case, we has to be ethical about doing business. So GST registration and current account opening and so many things, right? So we are at the last stage. We are very happy that we have, kind of moved through all the hurdles. We're at the very last stage, and maybe from this Valentine Day or end of February, we'll be starting to have all those, courses launched and start launching those courses. And we are also building the administrative structure. We might hire a CEO for our company and everything else, right? So instead of messaging me on LinkedIn, by the way, I'm on a, kind of LinkedIn break. Please, visit the Blue Dragon Universe LinkedIn page and like that page, because all the links to connect with us would be present in that page. And we are trying to form a corporate company, and where there will be a proper structure. So and there will be a team dedicated to support you. So where you have any questions, any difficulty about the courses, if even if I am not here, right, even if I am not part of the Blue Dragon universe, then those people would answer, right? So yeah, so please shoot your question, and please like and share that page to pass on this info. And I would like to thank everyone for letting us reach this milestone. I started the actual YouTube channel, seeing that there are most people who are kind of working in this zone, are interviewing kind of actuaries. And someone also interviewed me, and then I had that idea. And I also felt that there is no point in interviewing someone, because in actually the major problem is the quality of actuaries are going down significantly, and people are clearing papers but they are not becoming good actuaries, and they are not able to understand concepts which especially after the COVID, that situation is quite rampant now. And I feel that soon there will be a situation when intern would be hired based on qualification of actuary. That is the way we are headed, because there's too many of undeserving qualified actuaries, because the exam standard has gone down. People has cheated to pass exam. There are people has set in groups to pass exam, and all of us know that, right? IFA is also taking some measures, especially from September 24 we expect some measures, right? So something is going to happen there so that this cheating stops. But in any case, I feel that if you have made choice to pursue actuary here as a career, I feel that you have made the right choice. This is the best financial course that you get. And whether life insurance stay or not, general insurance stay or not, risk management will always stay, because risk management is needed in trading, investment, AI, everywhere risk management is needed. Risk management is a very important integral part of all enterprises, and it is going to be even more important as we move ahead, especially in the the age of AI, right? Because that age is also looming large, and that age is also coming. So I'll just present a small PPT to you, so that you understand what our vision is for the next couple of years, and how we are planning for all of this, right? And that's why it is very important that I made this video, and I also connect with you, right? Although my marketing partner will say that you once again you are using your laptop camera, your face is not visible, but this is I mean, this is the best we can do right now. Our focus is not in showing off, because we could do that, but the problem is our focus in real content, and you want people who are interested in that. Yeah, of course. I mean, if you become more interactive, if you use a good camera and everything, that or good audio and everything, that is helpful, because that kind of increases that engagement, and sooner or later we are going to do that. But right now we are not following that approach, right? So maybe something for us in the vision, right? So that my marketing partner stays silent. That's why I'm addressing this issue. Otherwise, he will immediately message, Arpan, you have again recorded a video. with a bad camera. This is my laptop camera. This is how it records. So I can't help it. Anyways, so let me share my screen. And yeah, I hope you'll also enjoy this. And if you have subscribed to this channel, if you are a member of Blue Dragon universe, right? So I can assure you that this universe will give you a lot more than you yourself can imagine at this point of time. So let us start. Right, so this is the video. This is called Blue Dragon Vision, and there is only, only one slide. Right, so first is this. And if you have to know about Blue Dragon, so Blue Dragon is named after my name. Although, I mean, this channel or my Blue Dragon trading channel, these are my own intellectual property. That has nothing to do with the Blue Dragon company or the Blue Dragon Private Universe Private Limited company. But this although is in a way it's related on because the company is named after my name. This is also somehow also kind of related, although these are my kind of personal property. I have to make that distinction. Anyways, so if you want to know about my vision, first you have to understand my past. Now, I don't think this is the right time to kind of disclose everything or uh, probably about my childhood, but I had a what can I say, a different sort of childhood, and I has always questioned the traditions. Like I can give you an example. When I was, part of Sun Life, someone asked like, what is the most wild thing you have done in a childhood? So, I got angry with a teacher, and I have thrown a stone at the face of that teacher, right? And I'm not proud of that, but I felt that the teacher was wrong, and my father once again, asked me that how can you do that. I also got seriously beaten at the home, because that is not allowed, right? You cannot, like, this is in one way this is promoting violence, and you cannot do that, right? I understand that. I was too young to understand that at that age, right? I was almost at the brink of rustication from the school, but that did not happen, thankfully. But the reason I did that is because someone was, kind of consistently, irritating me. And I don't know why the teacher has some grudge against me. So the teacher told me to get out of the class. I did get out, and I was, she told me to actually kneel down outside the class, and I was in that form only. And I was waiting for the bell to ring so that I can go inside, right? But then when the teacher came outside, she told me that this is how it would be, and she will always make me kneel down, whether there is a fault or not, which I got irritated with. And later she denied that she has mentioned this statement that she will always make me, kneel down in the class. She conveniently denied. So that's where I got angry, and there was a stone, at the um, I can reach out to. And then I threw that stone at her head. And she had a lumpy forehead for some days, but I'm not proud of that. So, the reason I'm giving you this extreme example, and this is, by the way, do not repeat this or do not practice this at home. This is not done under expert supervision, and this should not be done ever in life. I'm very, kind of, although that's a reality, that's what I have done, but it's a very embarrassing reality, right? So that is, like I mentioned, it was a wild thing to do. But the reason I'm giving this extreme example is I've always like to question traditions. If someone tells me that you have to follow this tradition, I'll always ask the question why I have to follow this tradition, why I cannot do the other thing, right? So that is always my thought process, and that is the reason I was called Blue Dragon, because I mean I was born blue. I had a hole in my heart which is not present right now. So I was born, my heart was not able to pump or clear out, filter out my blood. So that's why I was born as a blue baby. And because I had this knack of questioning everything, so people used to compare that with breathing fire. So that's why I got that nickname Blue Dragon. And because from very childhood I was kind of asking those questions, which I don't see people usually do. And probably you already, if you know about me, then you probably already know that I am loved and hated for the same reason, that is honesty. uh, from my childhood till this age, right now I'm 36 years of age, and till this now I think I'm very honest. You whatever you see with me, you will get that only. I don't hide people. I don't hide anything. So I like to be honest, and that's how it is, right? And this is that's how this vision is also built, to be very transparent and to be very honest. If I don't feel I would do something properly, ethically, I would not do that, right? So that's my childhood, and you will see that that questioning the tradition would also be seen here as well. So the second point is the idea. Now frankly, this is not my idea. This, the Blue Dragon and everything else, is not my idea. This is not something that I wanted to do when I was like when I initially got to know about Actuary, because Actuary was the the kickstarter for everything. uh, at that point of time I was very in a confused state. I mean, I did my MBA, and I did not like that. It was a very street smart kind of thing, and I've made videos, like you can see my the probably the first or second video that I made in this channel was Actually versus MBA, which is a 55-minute long video. So I did not like MBA as such. It did not give me too much of knowledge, and you know I uh, I felt that I need to do something else. And also, one of the feedback that I got in MBA interviews, that your CV is completely academic. You have to do some other thing, right? Other than that, I mean, your CV cannot be only academic. And then I was confused what to do. Then that person says to me, "You should have done some certification, something like that." And actually, was a some sort of certification like that for me. But then, I when I started, actually, I realized that. Whatever we do, or the work that we do, is completely different from what we study, and there is a lot more needed to become a good actuary. Because and you'll meet very few good actuary in your life. You will meet many qualified actuary. That is true. And the more time that passes, you will see the number of qualified actuary increasing by leaps and bounds, because the institute will earn revenue by that approach only. There is no other way, right? So that is how the institute will earn revenue. Especially the Indian Institute of Actuary is not doing that, though. They have some ridiculous, you know, SA2 or SA3 passing rate. But I mean, sooner or later, they also have to fall in place, because otherwise people would not register from them and they will lose the source of revenue. So they can't survive like that. So that's the basic idea. But then the idea of Blue Dragon, actually, the core principles of the values is I got it from someone who I met in AIG. I'm not going to name that person because I'm not friends with that person. And she had this thought process that like this is where I'll quote her, so I'll use Hindi. So she told me कि मुझे अच्छा इंसान बनना है, मुझे किताब लिखना है, और मुझे uh, मेरे मम्मी जैसा बनना है, बेसिकली अच्छा इंसान बनना है. तो ये this thought process I liked. And she told me that she want to touch millions of people, right? Millions of people. And this is where I thought that this is a good idea. And I asked her, how do you plan to do this? And she told me maybe something like some spiritual thing, or something like education, because we have to do something that can touch many people, and education is one of the medium. So it was her idea, right? And being a good human being, that is a very tough thing to do in this world, especially honesty, ethics, etc. As I mentioned, questioning tradition, that is a very tough thing to do, because sooner or later people will fall in line, right? So that's how it is. People say that diplomacy is the way forward. I don't believe it. The world has only seen the power of diplomacy. It is yet to see the power of honesty. That's the that's why people say that. And she has that thought process. So I was deeply kind of inspired by that thought process, and I thought, yeah, that's a good thing. And also there are other references, other ways that thought process was conveyed to me. And there are multiple things. Someone in my village kind of gave some money to me, saying that like, you do not have any uh, what can I say, any descendants, any inheritance, or anyone to give his inheritance. So he told me that I believe in you because you have a good thought process. You are a same thing, good human being, so I'll give that money to you. So that is the money that you can use to do something. So I told him that you can donate this money to charity. So, yeah, I am giving this money to you, so you can donate this money to charity, or you can use it to do something else, right? So but this is my money, I want to give that money to you because I am not going to live for long. So this is my money. So this is where I believe that there are many people who trusted me with their ideas, and it's very difficult. Initially, I thought that someone else, I'll pitch this idea to someone else, and someone else will probably do that. Then I also remembered one thing from Mahabharat, that when Karna was dying. Karna was by the way my favorite character, and when he was dying, he asked Krishna that what was his fault. One of the point that was given to him is that he need to take responsibility. He always wants someone else to remove casteism or whatever problem he has faced. So he had the right reason, but he always passed that responsibility to someone else to do his work, and he would just support him. So he was told that he would be the king, and had he been the king, then this war would have happened. But he refused, and because he wanted someone else to be the king. So that's where I initially thought that the person who initially gave that thought was to me कि मैं मुझे अच्छा इंसान बनना है, or that I thought that he or she would be doing that thing, and I'll be probably supporting her. But then when the time came, when situation got difficult, she changed completely, and then that's the reason that I'm not friends with her, because she's a different person now. And she also told me that I don't like that person, but I have to kind of be in touch with that person, because maybe that person will help me. Now this is something that I don't agree with. If I don't like a person, why should I use his or her help? So I don't like that idea. And once again, my idea was inspired by her. Like, we first of all, you need to be a good human being. Then uh, you need to kind of inspire many people, so that you form a group, and then you can influence many people, and you have that power. You need to reach a certain level so that people will follow you. Otherwise, no one is going to follow you if you are too weak. So that's the idea. That's the idea, to create a place for someone uh, who is honest, ethical, right? Another thing that I was told in my last company as well, and once again, I'm not going to name the person, but someone told me, actually two-person told me that अर्पण अगर आप इतने honest रहोगे तो आपको आगे job नहीं मिलेगा. And someone, and they were telling me, and don't get me wrong, that they were telling me for my own benefit, right? They are not telling me to demean me, but they are telling me to for my own benefit, and that's what I appreciate about them. So they told me that if you are dishonest, you are not going to get job, and I mean, it is only going to harm you. So I also realized that if there might be many people who would probably like to be like that, right? Like that person mentioned, that मुझे अच्छा इंसान बनना है. The problem is the society is built in such manner that it's very difficult. So in order to create an alternate vision or alternate reality, I have to be stronger, because if I don't reach that position, this would be a dream only. No one is going to, took the effort to kind of build a good, what can I say, world for honest and ethical people. Because somewhere down the line, everyone bend their spinal cord. So that's what I have seen in life, and that's why I feel that I cannot pass on that responsibility to anyone else. If someone has to do this, then it has to be me. If it has to be me, then I have to be more powerful, so that not to dominate anyone, but so that others cannot dominate me, right? So that's the basic idea from which kind of Blue Dragon thought process was kind of or vision was uh, was kind of derived. And that's why our tagline is also intuition, logic, and fire, right? So I mean, whatever comes to you through your intuition, you need to analyze that, mitigate the risk, and then you have to use that, like the fire that burns, right? So you have to use that passion and instill that passion in others, right? So that's the idea. I spoke at length on the idea because that's the most important concept. Then we have two ways we are going to achieve that. First is obviously traditional jobs. Now, no coaching center, actual coaching center in India, or the people who are leading that are qualified enough, or are or have that skill set to work in a company at a senior level. But I do, right? And I am back also. I don't know if you people know, but I am also back in the corporate world. I'm working somewhere, but right now I don't think that is the right time to disclose where I'm working, at what position. But I'm working at a senior level role, and my goal is to get to a level where people who are working in Blue Dragon universe can be hired in that company, because that is the traditional way, the insurance way, right? So if I work in a company, I be the head of that company, I can hire people from that company, uh, from Blue Dragon universe, who are good, right? So that there is no unethical or no favoritism. Obviously, people who are not part of Blue Dragon universe, they would also be hired, right? So that's not the case that if I get to a senior level, I'll only hire people from this level or from this coaching center. So that is unethical. So that I'm not going to do. But obviously, if someone is with us, we know that person, because I believe interview or the current selection ways are flawed. So you can only judge a person if that person stays with you for longer time. And because I have this ability, like I mentioned, this is something that I can do. None of the other actual coaching center working in India has the ability to do that. They cannot do a job, let alone reach a senior level in that job. So that's impossible for them. I have that ability, or one of my partners has to be at a senior level, so that this way is kind of present for the people who associated with the Blue Dragon universe, right? Once again, that community has to be built, and that strength or that power has to be displayed, so that the moment you talk about, actually, the first thing that you remember is Blue Dragon universe. That, yeah, challenging traditions should not be such a taboo like it is now, right? A second leg is probably more closer to me, is to create a proprietary course. And it's like, after creating all this traditional, all the actual paper course is done, I also get more experience in AI, right? So I'll combine all of this, AI, psychology, trading, to create my own hedge fund. Because opening a hedge fund in India is a hassle. You would require at least 20 CR, 20 crore of investment, and there are multiple regulations, right? So we have to set up a lot of things, may not be in India, maybe outside. For that, I might need some outside citizenship. There are so many ifs and buts there, and that's why I have not kept it as leg one. I have kept it as leg two, because the regulation in India is such, and I have seen that in just opening a private limited company, India is not employee friendly, or startup friendly at all, right? So I can tell that, I can vouch for that. Anyways, so that is our thought process. Now, in this case, it would be solely Blue Dragon universe. People who are trained by us would be hired in the hedge fund, right? So here, because it's my own company, here I'm completely building the community, and here I'm not going to hire anyone from outside. The ideal selection process would be a 6 months course on, or the proprietary course, where the person has to complete that, right? And depending on their skill set, not everyone can be hired, right? So someone who would be at the top on all the levels, that person would be hired, right? So that's my thought process, that's my vision. If you ask me, my leg two is my kind of stronger vision. That's what I want to do. And leg one would be slightly, what can I say, tradition, because I am not a traditional person, like I mentioned. But many people would probably not be that risk taking. So leg one has to be there, right? Especially leg one is easier for me to do, or for my partners to do. Leg two is slightly difficult for me to do, and that's why I hope if both the legs are present, then it is kind of yeah, then it will give Blue Dragon universe the strength it deserves. So we are not only looking to train or coach people, like other coaching centers who just memorize or make student memorize ways to regurgitate something in the exam so that they pass, but at the end of the day, when the real knowledge is required, they just fail. So we're not going to impact you on that manner. We are also going to give you livelihood, right? For that, we'll need some time. Obviously, it cannot be done next day, right? So for that, you will need some time, you need skill. I have to be very good in trading and investment to at least think of leg two, otherwise will give me money, right? And for this, I'll need public money. I cannot do that on my own. I don't have 20 CRs with me, right? So that's how we have to kind of understand. And I have a vision of 2 years. So this is a vision of 2 years. It might take more than that as well. Now when I complete leg one and leg two, right? So then if at a point of time leg three will also come, which you will not see here, but I'll just share that with you. If I see that I have reached a good level, if both these legs are doing well, if Blue Dragon Universe is a household name, then will also have sufficient amount of money. Then we'll purchase a bank which have life insurance and a general insurance maybe, and then we can impact society in a much bigger way. So that's the final step in the the vision of Blue Dragon Universe, because they say if you have to dream big. So I'm also dreaming big. I don't know if even if leg one can be done. I don't know if even if leg two can be done, right? So let alone leg three. So but if I have to dream, I have to dream bigger. Right? So that's what I'm doing, right? And as I mentioned, I'm a non-traditional person. So if I don't do this, if I don't build a world for the honest people and the ethical people and my type of people, nobody else will, right? So that's the purpose. That's why we are trying to build a community. And I hope that such like in future we'll have many people who would be trying to be a good human being, who would try to impact millions of life, and but do not end up saying that yeah, I have to maintain good relationship with that person because that person might be required for me in future. So that's it. So with that, I'll thank you. Thanks for getting us here. Thanks for accepting us in whatever way. Thanks for maybe loving me in some manner. Thanks for hating me in some manner. Right? I am always open to feedback. That is how I have reached here, and that is how Blue Dragon Universe will continue to grow. So keep on showering the love. Share this video with maybe with your parents, with your friends, everyone. Please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon, and see you in future videos.